One of the most common questions I get asked when I'm meeting in roundtables with fellow executives is, all this AI thing, we believe in it, right? We want to do something, but what can we do first? Well, what are the use cases that are actually working? What do you see out there? And for that, today I have the pleasure to have Aaron with me to talk about specifically customer experience. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, well, my name is Aaron Sanchez. I'm an account executive here at Cisco. I specifically look after a portfolio called WebEx Customer Experience, which one major part of it really is our AI solutions around addressing customer experience problems.
So you're definitely the right person for
Yeah, absolutely.
the question I'm going to ask you. So in a typical help desk, where are you already seeing AI making a real difference for customers? What actually feels different for them?
Absolutely. Well, it's early days at the moment still. A lot of customers are in experimentation mode, as are we. But really, there are two broad areas where AI solutions make a huge difference in terms of customer experience. One is really the consumer-facing AI. So essentially, when you ring a help desk or when you ring a contact center, being addressed by an agent that is actually AI-based instead of a human. And really, what this does is really lighten the load of the actual human-based contact center, where a lot of the more repetitive but high-impact, high-value tasks are addressed by autonomous AI agents. And the other area is really how AI is able to help the human agents themselves, right? So once there's a critical a query of a critical nature and a human needs to address it, how can AI actually help those human agents address these queries as a loop them in and make these things go a little bit faster or make them a little bit easier for the actual human agent?
So when you look at the dashboards of early adopters, what are the numbers they really care about? And where are you seeing measurable improvements with AI in the mix?
This is always very subjective, but really broadly speaking, where AI really makes an impact is in what in the industry we call first call resolution and average handling time. First call resolution really means how quickly are we able to address a customer's problem when they call in? How immediate is the resolution that actually happens, right? This is a broad sort of contact center or customer experience sort of metric that is used even in Cisco, right? And the other one is in average handling time. And this is really where we think AI really makes huge impact. Because whether it's a consumer-facing AI or agent-facing AI, both have an impact on average handling times, right? Because the AI agents themselves, when they're facing the consumer, they can handle the query themselves, which immediately shortens the actual resolution time. Because there's no need to wait, there's no need to sit in an IVR waiting for an agent to address you and finally ask you a bunch of questions later on to validate your problem. And then once there's an actual need for a human to get involved, the AI assisting the human agent is actually able to address the queries in real time, assisting the agent to actually solve the issues faster as well, and giving them the proper amount of guidance without actually having to get the consumer thinking that they're just dealing with an AI, right? Some consumers still prefer to deal with a human in the end, and that also is a place where actually a lot of our customers start to adopt AI first, right? The agent-facing AI before the actual consumer.
One of the things we discuss in these conversations is most of the headlines you hear on AI use cases, they address first the efficiency issue, the replacement. But what we see actually, and we've discussed in some ideas on how actually it's more about being more effective and increasing customer satisfaction. What is your personal experience with customers on this? Are they looking more for the efficiency or the efficacy, or is that something that changes once they discover what the solution can do for them?
I believe the reality is somewhere in between. However, I think a lot of what we see today, replacement is not the goal, right? I think at the end of the day, AI is there, and it's meant to help people be a lot more effective at their work. Where we see early adoption and where we see people measure this a little bit more seriously is in when they start to adopt AI technology, how much of that workload can AI take so that humans can do higher level work.
I mean, this is a constant we've seen in these conversations, right? That the first focus is on efficiency, but very quickly you realize the efficiency for the tasks that are routine, mundane, that are quite boring, and that most people actually do not want to do, right? and then very quickly focuses on augmentation and assistance, how you can provide more, and higher value. So you're definitely a good salesperson. You convinced me that I should really get AI to my help desk. Now, if I really had a help desk, what should be my first step to get into AI?
One of the things that we find consistently that customers are worried about, especially because this is potentially a public-facing technology, is how the public will react when we start to deploy AI technologies, especially in government and public sector, in healthcare. These are public services. So really, if you have to narrow it down to one thing, most customers actually would prefer the safest possible route, which is to adopt AI technology to assist the human agent first. I think the safest testbed is to deploy it to a much more controlled environment, and where the AI is actually guiding the human agents. End of the day, human is still in the loop. They're still in control of the experience that they're providing to their customers, and the AI is there to just assist with the workflow, assist with queries. The other thing I would consider, and what's something that we've learned, right, is when we adopt AI technology to face the consumer, there's different types of data that an AI bot or a chatbot should have access to. Some things are more sensitive than others. So it really depends on if you're running a business today. The first step would really be the type of data that you'd be happy to expose to the public, as opposed to data that you want to keep to yourself. And this one thing I think I feel very proud of in particular of our solution set in WebEx Customer Experience. We are extremely transparent how we use the data that our AI processes in the background, right? For every single capability we have in WebEx that uses AI, we publish a transparency note. We publish where we keep the data, where we store it, where do we use it, how much do we store, how is it deleted, how it's purged, and that's done for every single capability that we have. And I think that should really set the standard as to how AI is developed in enterprises, right? I think really, if an AI solution provider isn't doing this today, they're probably doing something wrong.
So that's how you build the trust.
That's right, absolutely.
And that's what will accelerate the deployment.
Absolutely.
I'm so happy to have talking to you today. I have now ideas I can take to those conversations. So thank you so much, Aaron, for this.
Thank you much for having me. Thank you.